Hey, how's it going? So I was digging around, and I think I see some of the issues that you might have been dealing with, and so this might be one of those where we have to cite the ARC framework, and then take another article and cite what it means to be Black or African American in the orphanage system, and then maybe like longitudinal studies of the orphanage system just by itself. So we might have to break it up into supporting arguments, which means you're onto something novel, because there might not be a lot written about that. So, library catalogs, probably okay to start with. Databases are great. Let's go to the research guides and to the social work. And let's look at my favorite databases. Research for Social Work Practice is one that I've been editing lately. So Social Science Premium Collection, let's give that a go. But I think for this one, I'd also recommend Sociology, because that's going to be looking at society and interventions on like a programmatic policy level. PsycInfo is going to be great. Actually, let's open these as we go. And then Education Full Text, because this often works with the protected population of people who are 18 or younger. And then the other ones I think we can work with as we go. So this, just to keep in track, I've started this in videos where I'm like looking in 3 databases at the same time. Hopefully this is not a bad idea. Scholarly journals, advanced search, but we'll see. It's like running 3 slot machines at the same time. If you've ever been to Vegas, you see people sit down and they're possessing 3 machines. Be that as it may. So the first thing that I start off with was orphan. And then we have like orphans, orphan, orphaned, orphanage. And so we can catch all of those with a star. So that's like, it's the or in between all of those. So anything that has the prefix orphan, any of those words will go out with. And so just to start with, and we're in just the education database, but just as an object lesson, you can see that every time you add something, it'll narrow it down. So on this one I put in children. You don't need to put in children. Orphans have had been or are currently in that protected status. Oh, cool. There's like all these different ones. So I want all the synonyms for this demographic statement, and they change over the years. And so we want to make sure that we have all the synonyms and related terms. Okay, now on this one, this is what I experimented with, and I found that the abstract was the best. I want orphan to be one of the most important things, so I pushed it up to the abstract. And I'm going to do that for the demographic as well. If we go past this and add the arc or longitudinal or anything like that, that's where we start getting into the weeds. But there's only 40 here, so this is where I would recommend that you just go through and look and see if anything fits what you're looking for just by cruising through the titles, because 40 is not too bad. But you might be able to find evidence of what you're looking for without having to go into the longitudinal, which is like lifelong. So, or longitudinal. If we add that, then it's going to narrow us down to almost nothing. So for what it's worth, that might be worthwhile doing one just to see what you find, but it might be too narrow. So it's not because it's a bad research topic, but longitudinal studies are time consuming and they're more rare. So you might have to go and just look for what you're interested in that manner. So I'm going to do the same thing in this one. Orphan. And I want it to be one of the most important things. So in, which one are we in? we in sociological abstracts? This one's a little better, but it also has dissertations in here. So if you're allowed to look at dissertations are kind of problematic. Oh man. This one's terrible. So this one, I mean, it's not terrible, meaning that it's not the results that I was looking for. But on this one, since there were so many titles, we can just go straight to the title and see what we get. Yeah, 1,300. And we'll go to scholarly articles. Hey, so this is pretty good. Orphan black bears, orphan drug pricing, howler monkeys. This is a bizarre results set. What is going on? Okay, this database. Oh, here we go. Your results may vary. Is this the social science premium collection one? Ugh, that might not have been great. So we might, that was strange results. But so this might help as cruising around in different databases. So this is PsycInfo. Yeah, so 43 again. PsycInfo, it turns out, might be the best one. And this one, where did education full text? Oh, here's education full text. Okay, the first one. Okay, so that one, Social Science Premium Collection, was a dud. But PsycInfo and Sociological Abstracts were good. Academic journals. So on this one, what we could do, so if we add our framework, there's nothing. But if we take away a population or a demographic description and we just go to orphans, orphanages, that, oh, still nothing. Yeah, so you might have to do something where you look at maybe like an age group, children or adolescents or child or youth or teenager. So you might have to wend your way around it and find one supporting article about orphans who are black, and then you might have to find something from the ARC framework of people who are just children as you go. But there's one last place that we can go. Oh, by the way, I looked up the ARC framework in Gemini. So could you break down the ARC framework into its components? That might be something that you could do. And clearly, you can just look up the ARC framework and have that be in the title. And you could just say, OK, I only want to look for that. Oh, yeah, look at that. There's only 5 where the ARC framework is in the title. So use the ARC framework separately. And I think that might be one of the issues that you might be working with. But wait, there's more. The other ones that I would recommend, maybe social work abstracts and social services might be okay because they're doing the practical side of things. But I think PsycInfo and social sciences are going to be the best. Or sorry, sociological abstracts. I'm going to make that one smaller. But going into Scopus and Web of Science, since there's so few on the ARC framework, you could also go in here, let's say that it was just in the abstract. You could find the most influential ones just by going and seeing which ones have been cited the highest. And so youth residential treatment, you could use that as kind of like an analog or a bridge. And this one was so important that these 140 articles couldn't exist without it. So this might be a way of separating your concepts. Hopefully that makes sense. But let me know how it goes. I've talked long enough. Go enjoy the rest of your sunny day.